What's up, guys? Fuad here, back on Behind the Gloves with another interview. I'm joined by the one, the only, the man who's making some noise now in the heavyweight division, the Savage, Alen Babic. How are you doing, brother? We just said on camera there, like a year ago when we first spoke to each other. So much has happened since then. But before we get into that, how have you been for the last few months?
Yeah, bro, it was an amazing journey. It's only I could only dream about this stuff, and now it's here, and I'm taking it pretty good. I'm
Yeah,
proud of myself with all the pressure and stuff, and all the press going mad.
I
So
can
it's good.
imagine.
It's good. It's what I wanted. So
And
yeah,
and this is just the beginning of a long journey as you start to gain, new fans, new traction, and new people following you for sure.
yeah. That's what I always wanted. To be a people champ. That was always my dream.
Yeah,
No fancy stuff. It's gonna be time for that. But for now, I just wanna box for the fans.
yeah.
I wanted to bring something new to the game, something old into this new, and I think I succeeded because I see a lot of people following me because they see something different. I'm not like all the others, so you can't even compare me to others because we're not the same.
There's a reason why they call you the Savage, and you showed it a few weeks ago, and a brilliant performance against Winters. Obviously, with all due respect, your toughest opponent to date. There was a bit of heat going into it, a bit of back and forth, and I've got to say, when I saw the video go all over Instagram, I was like, that's it, that's the man, that's the side of the man I've been waiting to see, and you brought it out for real. Did you feel any certain way going into that fight because there was more animosity?
Well, listen, of course I did, because I talked only good things about Chantel. Really, if you watch my earlier interview before the fight, I would talk only good, like, yeah, respect and stuff. And then he came like a storm, bro, calling me out and names and stuff. That American, trash talk. So I
Yeah.
was just switched on like immediately, yeah. And he almost caught me off guard because as you can see on the press, I let him talk for full 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I didn't interfere. Then I started totally, he went at it. I was like, no, bro, I'm not gonna do that. You know. So the Savage came out, and the rest is history.
Is that like a second personality? First we got the calm Alen Babic, and then we've got the actual Savage, who if you press the right buttons will come out anytime, anywhere.
Yeah, really it is. It's my alter ego. I accept it. I embrace it. And I I I did get in touch with him many times in my life, but I didn't know it was him. But now I'm for sure because I'm not sick or anything. I'm aware of it all. But it's so much easier
Yeah.
because Alan is just a humble guy. I would never do that. I would never kill nobody. Savage is fucking lunatic, you know, and
I love
he
that.
doesn't care. So I like having him with me, because it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of. This fight was all or nothing for me. Eddie said it.
Of
If you
course.
lose this fight, it's not gonna be good. That
Yeah.
means no more fights for Alan.
Yeah.
So I had to do something extreme because Croatia is a small country. They don't really care about Croatian pay-per-views and stuff. So I had to do something dramatic, and I did, and I'm proud of it.
What did you take from that fight in your performance in terms of confidence? Because, like you mentioned, he is very well known for that Joseph Parker fight, but Joseph Parker was a world champion, and you're on the rise now. How much confidence did you take away from that victory and the way you stopped him?
Well, listen, it just proved my point that I'm different. You can't compare me to them because me and Chandel, you saw it in the fight. It was no match whatsoever because we are from different breeds. He's a classic boxer, with a little bit of fighting, but I'm all fight. I'm 100% fighter. So it, everybody's gonna be the same. I tell you now, everyone's gonna be the same if they keep fighting like that with me. I'm not gonna wait. I'm not gonna look at you. I'm gonna knock you out. In the first round, I'm going for first or second rounds, like Mike Tyson did. They may laugh at me now, but when I finish 10 guys in second round, it's gonna start showing. Because I do have that mentality, and I think I can do it to every single heavyweight. Because Chandela can take a punch.
Yeah.
Bro, I hit you with some bombs. When I hit you, you go down. But Chandel took some power bombs. So if I did that to him, I can see nobody in my they're gonna give me the opponents, of course. They're not
Yeah.
gonna give me the best ones of my fifth fight. So I don't see nobody going away with it. I don't see Tom Little, Dave Allen. I don't see
Yeah.
going into past third round.
Before we go into onto them two that you just mentioned, I want to say, and following up, of course, you're going to be confident in your style and your power, and you know better than anyone the way you fight. But on social media after your fight, a lot of people were saying the way you came forward can be a problem against other people, and also your size. Obviously, you're not the biggest of heavyweights, but you're confident in staying in that way. You've got no intention of moving down.
Oh, listen, I only tell them one thing. I'm bigger than Jet MC. What else should be taught to real boxing fan, to true boxing fan? You
Yeah.
need nothing else. I'm bigger than Rocky Marciano. I'm bigger than Muhammad Ali was when he started fighting.
Mm.
His first 5 fights was 190 something. Look at on boxers.
Yeah.
So I'm in like George Foreman's kind of range. He was like 211
Yeah.
at the beginning. So it's not big. People forgot the real fighting dogs, bro. We are it, from the 180 to 200, not more. I'm 206, 208. It's okay for me, but it's a little too much. I would like to be on 226, 225, 23.
Okay.
And I'm so cool with that. They can tell me all they want. I'm gonna prove it. I got my chance. I proved it once, and now I want the giant. That's why I said to Eddie, "Give me the giant because I'm much better with them." Chandel could slip, could move, could run. He didn't do it because I cut him off, but he could do it.
Yeah.
And the big ones, they can't run. They're gonna take all of my power, and you saw my power.
Yeah. All right then. Well, like I said, you burst onto the scene this Saturday. With that victory, caused a lot of noise. A lot of people start talking, and I feel like you entered the gate into this matchroom circle of fighters and heavyweights. They've got a good few heavyweights that they work with, and I feel like you're at that level with where you'll get the fights of like a Dave Allen or a Tom Little. Those are the fights coming up for you next. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Which one out of the
Nick
two
Webb.
would, yeah, Nick Webb. Which one out of the three, then I should say, would you want the most? Obviously, Nick Webb won the Ultimate Boxer. Dave's got a huge following. Tom also. Who's on your hit list?
Well, listen, I would like Nick Webb actually because he's the biggest. So I would love that fight because I would prove what I'm talking about right now, and I'm very sensitive about proving what I'm saying because I'm always doing what I'm saying. I will. I told Chandel Vince gonna knock him out in first round and he was down. He was out, He just barely made it to second. So I would like Nick Webb because he's big, nothing more. Tom Little's my friend. He's such a cool guy, bro. We talk every day on Instagram. So Dave Allen is also a cool guy. I don't like him that much as Tom Little, but he's a cool guy. But his hands are way too low. I don't think it's a good fight for him. I think he should reconsider calling me out, because it's not a good way to go.
Yeah,
And Nick Webb
go on.
is quiet, and I would like him. If he's a giant, he is big. So him or the guy Cash Ali, how's he called?
Cash Ali, yeah.
Yeah, like one of the big guys. I would really like one of the bigger because I never take a step back. Never. To Dillian, I don't do it to Dillian. Ask him. For 50 rounds, I don't do step back. And if I can hold a beast like Dillian Whyte, I'm more than okay with everybody else.
Another person that you mentioned, I think, on social media was obviously your countryman, Philip Hergovich. And a fight with you two in the future in your country would be insanely huge, just for the country, for the sport. How likely is that to happen, say, within the next 12 to 16 months? Because with all due respect, again, Philip is, he's had more fights in that scene on TV. So he'll be probably looking to push for the bigger money fights and the title fights now. Do you think it's possible, though? Do you think you can get that fight?
Well, listen, I think there is one way, only one way, and that is the fans. If the fans want it, it will happen. Ask Eddie Hearn about it; he will tell you. He's the man in the business. If the fans demand it, and I'm gonna climb the rankings, but I'm climbing into different kind of. Hrgovic is he doesn't talk much. He doesn't do nothing. I do it for the fans. I climbing in the fans stuff. And I think that I will be popular enough to challenge Hrgovic and it will be huge. Listen, my country never had such a rivalry, never in its existence.
No.
Two top 100 heavyweights who doesn't like each other. He openly doesn't like each other. I don't like him a bit. So
Yeah.
I think it's great. I think it's a great story, and I think a lot of young Croatian guys would go into boxing because of us, and that is what I want to do in the boxing. You know, I want to just receive a voice so I can express myself about things that are not good and stuff.
Have you guys sparred or fought in the amateurs or anything? I feel like you said something about it, but I can't remember. Have you ever shared the ring
We
with?
were, yeah, of course, we were in the same club. You know, my coach made him. My coach took him when he was just a boy, like 13-year-old.
Yeah.
So my coach made him what he is today. My coach is Olympic coach. So we were together and I sparred him all the time because nobody could spar Hrgovic. He was way too good and he is too good. He was too good. And I sparred him no matter. I had 86, 87 kilos after night shifts and stuff, you know. And I was never taking a back step, you know. He was beating me a little bit, but I did more than okay, you know, for the opportunity. And then he just went by himself. And I don't, he had some beef with my coach. I don't go into that. I don't care about that. You know? I just like it for the sport. You know, it's a beautiful story. I think we could fill up a stadium.
For
you know?
sure. As soon as people started talking about it, I was like, shit, that would be insane. Like for Croatia, it would be absolutely.
Yeah, because listen, we are two totally opposites in everything. In everything, we are totally opposite. You know, he's a longer guy, technical, very technical. I'm a slugger. I'm an old school boxer. So it's a beautiful mix of styles. You know,
Yeah.
boxing was used to be about styles, so you can't get much more than this.
Exactly. Well, if the fans are watching, which I'm sure, of course they are, you guys will get to know Alen more and more as he gets those knockouts on his reel. But also, let's start pushing for that fight. That would be absolutely nuts. And if we could cover it, which I'm sure we will be if it happened, it would be. You know, I've never been to Croatia, and I'd love to go. Put it like that. But yeah, hopefully,
a lot
hopefully
of
soon.
people said that. Yeah, a lot of people said that it's a good chance for all of you to come.
Exactly, for sure. Let's move on then. That same card, unfortunately, that night we saw Dillian Whyte being handed a defeat by Alexander Povetkin. Anyone with a boxing brain would know Povetkin was no joke, no step over. The guy can punch. But let's start off with reactions. Where were you? You were, I'm guessing, backstage, obviously. What was your initial reaction to the shot that landed on Dillian?
Yeah, I was actually by the ring, you know, where you can walk, and I was watching it, and it was total shock. I was shell shocked, you know, because I would bet my house on Dillian that night. He was so much better, and the worst part is he didn't even show nothing that he can, you know. That's the worst part when you get clipped and you didn't even show like 50%.
Yeah.
Although he was killing Povetkin, so imagine how much more he can do. You know, I know what he can do. If he could just go savage on Povetkin, I think he would end him in 2 rounds because Povetkin was done. Povetkin was looking at his corner all the time. You know, he was done. But he's Olympian, Olympic boxer, so Olympic champion.
Yeah.
So you can't fool around with Povetkin. And Dillian did just that. Dillian stand in front of him. Don't do that. Don't give him time to think. You know, because if he starts thinking, he's gonna find the hole. You know, and he did. Fortunately for us. But Dillian is okay. Can't wait for the rematch, and you know he's a big man.
Yeah, he definitely took it on the chin in terms of like moving on from it and accepting defeat. You know, some fighters, you know, they find it hard to move on, but straight after the fight, you know, he admitted what it was, and it is what it is, and he wants a rematch. Talking about the rematch, how do you think he'll prepare for it this time? What mindset do you think? I mean, because you've shared the ring with Dillian, you've been in camp with Dillian, you know, you're very close to him. Well, how do you feel like he's going to approach this rematch, and what can we expect?
I think he will approach it much differently. He told me even on the phone, you know, I'm gonna go savage this time. He said I should have gone savage because he had him, you know.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be completely different. The young Dillian Whyte, you know.
Yeah.
He was crazy. I tell him all the time, bro, when I watch your fights, fucking lunatic. And now he's all like boxing stuff, a little slowed down. I would prefer the old Dillian. You know?
Yeah.
I think the young Dillian would smash Povetkin into pieces.
Yeah.
You know, don't wait for him. Don't jab with him. Nothing. Just go maximum violence.
Yeah. You say that. I think that's a good point, to be honest. Thinking about it, the last time we saw Povetkin sort of struggle was that first round against Michael Hunter, when Hunter came rushing forward and almost had him out in the first round. So I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And finally,
Yeah,
just talk.
listen, that's my.
Can you hear me?
I said.
No, carry on, carry on.
Yes, yes.
I think our voices are going through like a second late, but yeah, carry on.
No, I was just about to tell you because what Hunter did to Povetkin in the first round, he just continues. That's what I do.
Yeah,
It's so easy when you see it, but it's so hard in the ring. That's why nobody does it. I tell everybody what I'm gonna do, but they can't do nothing about it. That's the beauty of the boxing.
yeah,
They just can't do it. What? I'm gonna come to you and you're gonna do what? I do nothing. That's why I'm very dangerous for everybody. Because I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna stop. And you need to kill me in the ring, and I can take a punch. I've been taking punches from all the best, and I did with Dillian more than 80 rounds total. So I know how to take a punch, and I can throw a punch.
I mean, you definitely can take a punch. I remember those highlights you were showing me from the amateurs. Jesus, I was like, oh my god, some
Yeah.
savage stuff over there in Croatia, bro. Um, yeah, but fine. We'll finish off on the continuing on the heavyweights. Obviously, um, Dillian was mandatory for the WBC, and he would have been mandatory for February with the WBC should he have won that fight. But your thoughts on Tyson Fury matching up against Dillian? How do you see those two matching up? Because a lot of people stylistically talk about how Tyson's always on his feet and you can just stay away from Dillian. How would you see that one going if they ever met in the ring eventually?
Well, again, I would suggest Dillian that he reaches for that younger Dillian, that
Mm.
lion, and he should just overwhelm people because he punches so hard, when he's on the front foot. When he's on the back foot, it's not that hard, but when he's going forward, he's a lunatic. Because we spar, and most of the time he's not going forward. But when I take him off, when he comes, I need to watch out, because he's so dangerous. And I think I would advise him. I would advise him to go forward against Fury.
Yeah,
And it will be very dangerous fight for Tyson because Dillian has long arms.
yeah, he does.
He can cover the whole ring with his arms. And that is the thing that is the most dangerous about it. That's why the punches are so hard.
Yeah, for sure. Well, the one fight the fans obviously and everyone in boxing wants to see is the unified fight between Tyson and Joshua. There's still a lot being said about that. They're both throwing remarks at each other. Tyson saying that Eddie and AJ are avoiding the whole fight. As a fan, from a fan's perspective, why do you think the main reason is that we're not seeing that fight? And when it does happen, who do you see winning?
Well, I think because nobody it looks like me like nobody cares about fans anymore. They're calling that fight for 5 years, and the fans calling out fights and nobody listens to them. It's sad to me, because we are just a gladiators. We are on the service to the fans. That's the way it should be. I would like boxing much better if we were that way.
Yeah,
And not some promoters going back each other. Who are you promoters? You just do it for the fans. You're also in the service of the fans.
yeah,
Fans buy the fights. Fans pick the fights, and if they pick a fight, just make it. It's not that hard.
yeah,
Not just money, 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 money. Fuck that. Where's the real boxing? They should just fight because
yeah.
fans want to see it. It's gonna be a great fight. I don't think they need anything else than that.
Who do you see winning that fight, the big unified fight, should it ever happen?
I am really at 50-50. I said it for Fury in the first Wilder match. I said it in the second. I said Fury 100%. But for this one, it's really. I, I would. I don't know, bro. I wouldn't go either way because I like Joshua. I like his style. I love Fury. He's so unorthodox and everything. So it's really, really a hard matchup. I don't
Yeah.
think Joshua can catch him, but I don't also see Fury can get Joshua. So it's a weird matchup. That's
Yeah,
why fans want to see it. It's a real 50-50 fight.
yeah,
I think Fury is mentally a little bit stronger. I think Joshua is physically a little bit stronger. So everything just sums up.
yeah, for sure. I think that's the main reason as well. Taking away the belts and the personalities and the build up, stylistically, it's a very interesting fight. You can always say, "Oh, Tyson boxes this way and that," But then you have to also look at what Joshua's done in terms of switching up his style as well against Andy Ruiz.
Yeah, but it's not a real boxing style fight, you know. It's not like Ali and Frazier. That is how the fights were supposed to be, you know. A fighter against a technician. They are both on the kind of the same thing, you know. Kind of the same. Fury is unorthodox. Joshua is technical, but they're both technical good fighters. You know?
Yeah.
I don't see nobody going forward that much, so it's gonna be a stalemate.
For sure. All right, awesome, man. Well, do you have any final words to the growing fan base of the Savage?
God, I just love my family. I just want to tell them that I got so many messages. I got like 500 messages, and I'm answering them every day. Few, you know, and the fans are happy, like, oh, Savage answered me, and I'm just a gladiator, I say. So it makes me happy, you know, to answer the fans and do as much of these interviews as I can. You know, I understand it's a part of the business. People want to get to know me, and I want them to know me. So all love for the fans, and I hope I'm gonna answer them all the messages in the next 5 years.
Yeah, you'll definitely be putting answers out to those messages within the next few years. Well, I appreciate your time as well. As always, we'll definitely catch up soon, and I can't wait to see you out fighting again soon, doing some Savage business.
Thank you, brother. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Cheers, bro. All right, let me just end this real quick.
Michelle Joy Phelps. If you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you go ahead and do so by clicking this icon right here and hit the bell button so you can get notified every time we upload a new video. And we also have a free app available on iTunes and Google Play. So make sure you go and download that. Bye, fight fans.